The amazing thing about comedy is that it really hijacks joy, right? Like it forces you to joy. Think about a laugh. Like you ever try to stop yourself from laughing when you're laughing at something? Like it's like, ha, ha, like stop saying stuff because like you're convulsing, right? Involuntarily. Best to toe the line. I try not to make it seem like meat eaters are dumb. You know, in my comedy, I truly use the same things that I hear from people. Like when people say them to me, I literally write them down. You know, and like I make comments like, "Oh, but bacon though." Like, you know. You know what I mean?
There's something standing between you and your happiness. It was for me. I had to face my depression and constant negative self-talk. Therapy helped me realize I deserve to be happy. That's why this podcast is called I Choose Health. Because I made the choice to heal, and I want to share that with you. That's also why I've partnered with BetterHelp as our sponsor to help you start your own healing journey. We all face moments when life feels overwhelming, whether it's stress, anxiety, or just feeling stuck. Talking to someone can make a real difference. And that's where our sponsor BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers professional online therapy that's convenient, affordable, and entirely on your schedule. You can connect with a licensed therapist by video, phone, or even chat. Whatever works best for you. Let our sponsor BetterHelp support you on your journey to better mental health. You can get 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth. That's betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth for 10% off your first month. Take the first step toward feeling better today. All right, so I recently spotted our next guest on one of my favorite TV shows, Godfather of Harlem, as Carl. So to be honest with you, I really thought he was on there to convince Frank Lucas and Bumpy Johnson to go vegan. And you guys know, Bumpy is played by Forrest Whitaker. And I mean, Forrest Whitaker is really only one step away from making that happen. We all know he's vegetarian. But like, with a name like Forrest, like, come on, Forrest. Like, go vegan already. All right? With a name like Forrest, I thought you would have already gone vegan. Hell, I thought you were born and raised vegan. Anyway, all jokes aside, our guest today is an amazingly talented actor.
Leroy, what you doing out here, man?
Trying to save your asses. You're being played.
Only ones getting played is these cops we about to bust up on.
Actor, rapper,
Fell in love through photograph, natural thighs, eyes, girls, give me all of that.
comedian, and activist. He is known as the ace of all trades, and he is a multifaceted American artist celebrated for his work as an actor, rapper, comedian, filmmaker, and graphic designer. Born to Jamaican immigrants in Inglewood, New Jersey, and raised in West Palm Beach, Florida, Anderson's passion for performance ignited early, leading him to reenact Eddie Murphy's skits at family gatherings. He honed his craft through competitive performing arts schools and earned a BFA in acting from Southern Methodist University in 2013. His acting repertoire includes appearances on television shows such as Law & Order, SWAT, Access Hollywood, and The Last OG, as well as films like Redstone and Blazing World. He was a member of the brilliantly resident acting company at the Tony Award-winning Dallas Theater Center. Beyond acting, Anderson is a talented rapper and spoken word poet known for his witty and thought-provoking verses. His music has been featured on platforms like Spotify and SoundCloud. He's also the founder of The Striped Heart, a creative studio and production company that collaborates with major networks such as Sony, Peacock, TBS, NBC, and CBS. A passionate advocate for health and wellness, Anderson co-created One Great Vegan with his wife, Gabrielle Reyes. This brand teaches people how to create healthy recipes through music and singing, blending their artistic talents with a commitment to promoting a plant-based lifestyle. Anderson's diverse talents and dedication to storytelling have earned him a reputation as a modern Renaissance man, striving to revolutionize the way humans tell stories through his extensive artistic endeavors. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for another great vegan himself, Ace Anderson. Ace, how are you doing, my brother?
What's going on, y'all? I'm doing great. Happy to be alive, blessed, and abundant.
Man, that's definitely a real blessing, man.
Introduction, man. I was like, dang, did I write that?
Yeah, man, I think you did. But man, let's get right to it, man. What is your vegan transformation story? Or should I say, what's your vegan villain origin story?
Man, I went vegan because of a documentary, honestly. I had met my wife, Gabrielle. She was vegan. She's been vegan for 14 years, but she was vegan for a long time before we met. I think since 2011, she was vegan. And she kind of introduced me to the world of veganism in a way that wasn't like off-putting. Sometimes you go to a friend's vegan, they're making vegan food and they got the macaroni and cheese, but it tastes like wood and cardboard, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, well, I ain't eating that. You know what I'm saying? So when I met my wife, like, she was like, I want to make you a vegan dish. And so she made something for me. I was like, this is really good. And then I wanted to make her something because my family is Jamaican and I wanted her to try some Jamaican food. And I couldn't take her to any of the Jamaican restaurants because they all served meat and there wasn't anything that she could eat other than the rice and peas. And I was like, well, I could just make the rice and peas at home, but let me figure out how to make some of these other recipes that I traditionally love, like brown stew chicken, like curry goat, ackee and saltfish, right? Let her try some of these things and let's see if I can make it vegan, right? And when I did that, I realized how easy it was to make vegan food. Like, I was like, whoa, so to make vegan food, you just take the meat and the dairy out of it, and like you could still cook with all the herbs, all the spices, all the veggies, and so you're still able to get the same flavors that we love. So after being with her for about a year, we would cook food together, and then I would just like add chicken to it or add fish or something like that. I didn't eat any red meat, so it was easy for me to do that. But then after she had gone away on a tour of a production in New York, and I had time to myself, and I was like, let me just figure out like cooking and eating myself. And it was like April 2017, and I decided that I was gonna go vegan. I was like, because I watched What the Health, and What the Health really did it for me, man. After I watched that, it was really hard for me with seeing how easy it was to eat vegan, watching my wife for about a year, and then cooking at home. Like, I already kind of had the experience. So I was like, I texted her, I'm like, listen, I'm thinking about going vegan, but I do not want you to force me. Like, I might eat some Starburst or something that got gelatin in it. Like, don't be, beating me over the head if I decide to fall back a little bit. But I'm thinking about like fully transitioning. So what I did was, the way that I did it, I said, because I saw how the meat industry was treating Black people through What the Health, like these communities of color, and how they were spraying the feces and these pesticides specifically on Sunday, on the Lord's Day, when people were gathering, right, causing all of this disease and cancer, and like, it's a slaughterhouse, right? Like, it's not, these cattle farms are not like heaven, right, for the animal. So when I saw all of that, I said, I can't contribute to that anymore. Like, really, like, I've been eating kind of like 80% plant-based for about a year, and I see how easy it is. So here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to finish out the stuff that I have, right? I threw away a lot of the meat and like the fish and I had like a bunch of frozen stuff. I threw away a lot of that stuff, but there was something like, I love eggs. I used to love eating eggs, like breakfast, that's my favorite time. My favorite meal is breakfast. So I said, I'm going to finish out these eggs that I have and the egg whites. And once I'm done with all the vegan stuff in my house, I will never spend money on another vegan product again, or another animal product again. And that made it extremely easy for me, because I was like, oh, I'm not worrying about necessarily, you know, what I'm gonna eat, because I could go to Chipotle, I could go to, like, you know, if I was really out, and like I could always eat French fries, you know what I'm saying? So like I knew that there was some hacks that I could do to make it home and cook a really good meal. So I said, like, I'm never gonna spend money on a non-vegan product. And so then it was like, you know, if I was with friends, if I was with a friend or something and they had a cake or they were serving cookies or something, then I would like try it, you know, I would try it or eat it, but like that, it made it so it wasn't so strict, you know what I mean? And so after I did that, like, it made it real easy for me to go vegan and stay vegan. Cause I was like, all right, I'm not spending any money on animal products, and it's not like I'm around a bunch of people that are trying to offer me animal products. So, you know, so I like everything I'm spending money on is all vegan, all plant-based stuff. And then, I had one scare. I had one almost slip up. It was a slip up, a full slip up. Thanksgiving came around. And I'm in Texas, bro. I'm in Texas, and I used to love barbecue chicken. But if you go to Texas, all the barbecue is like brisket and like slabs of like turkey, and it's not the barbecue that I grew as a Jamaican black man, you know, growing up in Jersey. Like I'm used to some good cooked food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't have that in Texas. And so I'm in Texas, and for the first time in like the 6-7 years that I've been there, a friend of ours invites us over to Thanksgiving. They got a bunch of barbecue chicken, and I'm like, oh man, like the chicken, like they got it. It smells so good, and I'm like talking about it, and I'm like telling my wife, like I don't know what to do, and she's like, go for it. If you really want it, like, go for it. And I'm like, nah, I feel like it's a test. I feel like it's a trick. Like, you know, like, I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, just try it. Like, if you want it, just do it. Like, why? Don't look at me. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And so after like 2 hours of freaking out about it, I'm like, okay, let me go get a piece. And I take a piece and I put it in my mouth. And I'm like, man, what was all this hype about? It wasn't even good. It wasn't even cooked all that well. It was like, and that was the last time I ever looked back. I have not one single time ever looked back at going, you know, stopping myself from being vegan or, you know, giving up my plant-based ways. So that's kind of my vegan villain story in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's funny when you talked about how much you love eggs, or how much you loved eggs then. I could imagine if you were trying to go vegan now, it would be a lot easier, because you're like, man, the price of eggs is way too high anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, like that is enough to make a man go vegan for sure. And then also there's so many amazing egg replacement products, like, you know, the big hack that I learned is Kalanomic. Indian black salt.
Okay.
So Indian black salt has sulfur in it. So the sulfur, when you smell sulfur, it smells like eggs, smells and tastes like eggs. So it's this very sulfuric salt, right? Like, and if you put that on an avocado, put some Indian black salt on an avocado, you got a hard-boiled egg. Tastes just like a hard-boiled egg. No difference.
I got some avocados at home right now, but they're still right. And I'm upset. This is what I get for shopping on Instacart, because people don't know how to choose avocados. I'm like, your job is not just to pick up avocados, man. Right. Get me some nice ripe get me some nice ripe avocados, not this hard thing that you give me. Like, I can't use it. But I definitely that sounds really good, man. I got to try that.
Man, it's amazing. And I don't know about Instacart, man. I can't do Instacart. I feel like I gotta be there at the grocery store. It's an experience, you know, especially as a vegan. I like to go to the farmers markets, you know. It's just like a different experience to be able to actually feel the fruit and the vegetables, and, you know, I feel like you get to have a nice little relationship with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely. And yes, I want to say, man, you are doing something that I think is amazing because you're getting people to think about something seriously about animal cruelty and veganism through comedy.
Yeah.
But can you say why comedy is such an effective tool for change?
Man, well, the amazing thing about comedy is that it really hijacks joy, right? Like, it forces you to joy. Think about a laugh. Like, you ever try to stop yourself from laughing when you're laughing at something? Like, it's like, ha, ha, like, stop saying stuff, because like you're convulsing, right? Involuntarily. So it's involuntary joy. And joy is one of the fruits of the spirit, right? So when we talk about, like, we all have an inner being, we all are connected to source. And so source, aka the spirit that is embedded in every single human being, is made up of 9 elements: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And those 9 elements are what make up a positive, right, spiritual life. And that's like that's heaven right there, right? Those 9 elements, that's heaven. That's what you want to experience. Anything that you desire in your life is for one of those 9 things, if not all 9, right? You want, like, tell me something that you want, that you desire in your life.
Me, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
tell me one thing.
I would say for sure, definitely a better life for me and my daughter. I'll tell you that.
For you and your daughter, right? And,
yeah.
And your hope is that you believe that in having that, you will experience more love, you will experience more joy, you will experience more peace, you'll experience more patience, more kindness, more goodness, more faithfulness, more gentleness, more self-control, right? Those are the things that you are in control of. So joy, being one of the fruit of the spirit, is a requirement for heaven. It's a requirement for everything that you want to create in your life. And so when you use comedy forces people to laugh. It forces people into joy. It's one of the only ways of forcing someone that is tolerable. Right? You know what I mean? When you get somebody to smile or laugh, people tolerate it. Be like, oh, like, why? Like, it's like it takes a certain type of person, unless it's in a very, like, serious moment and, we're trying to be reverent and all of that, right? It takes a certain type of person to get mad when people are wanting to laugh, wanting to smile, wanting to be happy, right? And so it's really important to recognize that as a tool for being able to start a movement. If you can spark joy in someone's life, it'll change their entire day. The entire trajectory of someone's day can be changed with a joke, right? A moment to smile. Smiling is contagious, and also laughing, right? There's a really fun video. I think it's just like a social experiment. This guy is sitting at a bus stop and he just starts laughing, and he's just like laughing hysterically. And like people think it's weird, and then somebody else looks at him and then they start laughing, and then the next person starts laughing because that person's laughing, and they're like, what is going on? And then the dude just keeps cackling, laughing. Whatever. And then all these people, next thing you know, the whole block is laughing, right? Like, just from one person's joy, it is contagious and effective. And like the opposite is true as well. When people are angry and outrageous and like, and losing their temper, all of that stuff gets passed down as well, right? It gets passed around and people like get angry, and like all of a sudden everybody's tense and everybody's on edge and worried and concerned. So we have the ability to affect other people energetically, right? Through our own frequency. So I learned that, one, like, there's so much toxicity on social media. There's so much anger, especially in the vegan community. You know, I can take accountability for that. I can look at the vegan community and say, look, man, people are so angry and mad, and I understand because there's the passion behind what's happening with animals, what's happening with the planet, what's happening to people's health and how it's deteriorating. So yes, there is an excuse, or I would say a pass for people who are very passionate. However, sometimes when that passion is not cut with some joy, with some laughter, with some positivity, with some hope, right?
Welcome back to 52 Choices, where small weekly changes build a better you. This is choice number 8. Try a new vegetable each week. Why? Because the more variety you eat, the stronger your gut becomes. A 2018 study from the American Gut Project M Systems Journal found that people who ate 30 plus plant types per week had a more diverse gut microbiome, which supports digestion, immunity, and even mental health. Another 2020 study in nutrients showed a high fiber, plant diverse diet could lower risk of depression and anxiety symptoms. Every veggie has a superpower. Sweet potatoes have beta carotene, kale has vitamin K and antioxidants, garlic has heart-healthy allicin. This week, swap routine for curiosity. Try purple cauliflower, daikon radish, or water spinach. Your gut and your brain will thank you. Make health personal. Make a choice to be you.
Then it really doesn't sell well. People just like get angry. People just like, you know, I see more often than not when a vegan gets angry at a meat eater, it just forces the meat eater to be like, well, I'm gonna be angry too. I'm angry, whatever. Yeah. I'm angry. I'm not angry about the same thing you're angry about. I'm angry at you because you're angry at me. And you're telling me what I need to do. So what I found with my comedy, I have vegans and meat eaters alike following and laughing and sharing my stuff, right? Because I force people to either laugh at themselves or I force people to engage in the cognitive dissonance, right? To see what's going on. So it's so important. Like comedy is so important, and comedians are truly, you know, they're paving the way. Like they're paving the way of truth and what it means to be honest and be allowed to be honest in sometimes a dark way. You know, you can have dark comedy, you can have all of these things. I try my best to toe the line. I try not to make it seem like meat eaters are dumb. You know, in my comedy, I truly use the same things that I hear from people. Like when people say them to me, I literally write them down. You know, and like I make comments like, oh, but bacon though.
I was just gonna bring that up.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so funny to me when people say stuff like that, because I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, but it's great to me. I always see it as an opportunity. Anytime I'm in an experience, I'm in a certain circumstance, I see it as an opportunity to make a joke, to have something funny that could be said because it's a learning moment, right? I do most of my comedy is observational humor, right? So I'm observing what I'm seeing and then the scenes write themselves. You know, it's not like I'm out here like, you know, super crafty with it. Like I'm just witnessing what happened. Somebody said this wild thing to me and I take it and I make a video about it.
Some of your stuff is really creative though. I think one of the funniest skits I've seen is when you were at this restaurant, you were like, hey, I have some questions about the menu, please. Right? About the menu, please. And you're like, he said, there's none of your business about the menu, please.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, that is hilarious. Like, that's really creative, man.
Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of little things that I do as well. And that video, I'll tell you something that's funny about that particular video. I posted that like 3 years ago, 3 or 4. Yeah, I think it's like 3 years ago I made that video. And it had a different comment on it. And last year, 2024, I realized that I really want to get more into doing the vegan specific comedy because it does really well. It performs really well because people engage. You know, you got meat eaters coming and saying XYZ. So I found a little hack to say, you know, anytime I mention anything about meat or meat eaters, it's triggering for people. Mm-hmm. So that video actually has nothing to do with veganism, right? But I put on the, so the first time I posted the video, I got a couple thousand views, right? And it, you know, got a good amount of likes, maybe like 10,000 views, 20,000 views, something like that. But the second time I posted the video with the new caption, with the new title on the video, the video says, "When your vegan waiter loves meat," right? So it's a double entendre,
right?
You know, because it's not about vegan at all, but it gets you to watch the video,
and it definitely got me to click because I'm like, wait, what?
And then you watch and you're like, wait, oh snap! Like, and it's a funny joke that is universal. And so that second time I posted it, I think the video now has 7 million views.
Wow.
7 million views, bro.
That's insane.
6.8.
Wow, that's insane.
So yeah, like I've realized like there's just a really amazing method of just like creating content about veganism because everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody's got an opinion about it. So you're almost guaranteed to get comments on it. And it's like the way that I feel about stuff. Like, and I don't mind, like, you know, my family, they all eat meat, you know? And so to anybody out there that's like worried about what your family thinks about what you're posting, you're not making stuff for your family. Like my family eats meat. And like, you know, they see my content and sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't, because sometimes it's triggering for them, you know? And sometimes they find it funny, but I'm not making my content for my family or my friends, right? Family and friends are not your followers.
Yep.
Family and friends are not your fans. And a lot of people mistake those two together. They try to like, oh, my friends aren't liking my stuff. Like, your friends aren't your friends because you make content or you have a business or because you make music and you want them. That's not why they're your friends. They're your friends because they like you. So like, I think a lot of people get into the play, oh man, my friend, you know, I invited my friend to come to my event. I invited, you know, I told my friend to listen to my album. I told my friend to like my video and they didn't like it. It's like, it's not for them. Mm-hmm. Stop making content for your friends and then worrying about if your friends like it and if it's good or not. Like, don't use your friends and your family to judge whether it's good or not. So it's a testament because like my following has grown because I stopped worrying about what my family thinks, what my friends think, because not all my friends are vegan. Not all my family, I would say 90% of my family and friends are not vegan, right? And so I don't want to ostracize myself from them. I like them because they're my friends. They're good people, right? But you know, I have a message that I want to share that resonates with millions of people. And I'm not going to sacrifice the millions of people because I'm worried about what my family might think because they don't like that I make vegan content. Like my mom told me the other day, she was like, they're vegan one. She literally said that to me. You know, that's my own mother. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh man. So, you know, and I guess, you know, being in the industry, I know you have some relationships in the industry as well. What do you think about actors who are coming out as vegan or part-time vegan? Like, what percentage of them you think are actually about the movement and the lifestyle? And how many do you think see this as a cash grab, like i.e. celebrities who are opening restaurants?
I think I would say it's probably 50-50, like a good 50-50. If I had to guess, you know, to me, I feel like the most sustainable way that I've seen of people going vegan, a lot of the vegans are going to get mad at me about this, but it's when people go vegan for their health. Because when you go vegan for your health, there's something different with the relationship between yourself and food, right? You're not just like, oh, like, I really love the taste of meat and like, let me just, eat eat all the processed vegan meats, like, and stuff. And not to say that there's not a space for that, right? They're good. I like to call vegan meats good transitionary foods, right? So for people that was just eating a ton of meat and then they want to decide, like, I want to go vegan, I want to go plant-based, they can use some of these things when they have a real craving for some meat, right? As a substitute. But the main thing you should be eating is whole foods, right? So when it comes to these celebrities changing their ways or announcing that they're vegan, I do think a lot of it has to do with being a cash grab. I mean, they all have PR teams. They all have, a whole marketing team that is promoting them and then telling them, hey, say it this way, announce it on this show, come out this way. Let's wait until you have a product around that. And they do that with everything. Like, celebrities do that with everything because their team wants to be paid. So their team is kind of forcing them to do it. Like Selena Gomez, for instance, she's not vegan. She had come out about suffering with mental health and stuff. And she had this huge opportunity to talk about mental health in a real serious way. And what her team decided that she should do is create a makeup line to celebrate not looking like yourself. Like, I don't know. What are you trying to do? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's a cash grab. Like, what is the team doing? They dropped the ball. Like, so you're going to tell people, oh, you're not pretty enough without my makeup. So buy my makeup because I'm all about mental health awareness. But you're not pretty enough, so buy this makeup. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you have these celebrities that are kind of doing this. So come out, they'll be a part of a certain movement. Man, maybe they genuinely want to. Maybe they genuinely feel like, oh, this is good. Like, I want to try going vegan. And they got a whole team of people in their ear who are on their payroll, who are trying to figure out ways to stay on their payroll. So that celebrity needs to make more money. So they're like, all right, let's come up with a cool idea. Let's call it, vegan, whatever. Like, they come up with some wild idea, and like with Kevin Hart with these, with all these restaurants, and now they're all closed, right? Hart House. And I loved Hart House, but why do you have 6 in one city?
Yeah.
Make that make sense, bro. Why is there 6 10 miles away from each other? It makes no sense. So, like, to me, it's like a lot of these celebrities, like, oh yeah, it's working. Like, let's just build up, let's just make it. And then all of those things go away. Like, the restaurant industry is so hard to break into. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So I do feel like it's not 100% genuine. I think that they want to do the right thing, like celebrities want to do the right thing, but they also have a lot of money hungry people in their pocket, in their corner, that is telling them the direction that they need to go in and try this, and like, we need to make more money and our numbers are down this quarter and we need to figure out what to do. And so they're trying to capitalize on some of these things. I think in some ways it's helpful, right, for influencers and celebrities to promote vegan products and promote veganism. But also in some ways it's a catch-22, because now if that celebrity like Kim Kardashian decides to go eat a steak, then you got like twice over, and now all the people that said she went vegan and she's eating Beyond Meat or whatever, now they got everybody being like, oh, you're not vegan and vegan isn't the way, and she said XYZ. And so what tends to happen is, like, we kind of get into this world where we're uplifting celebrities, and like everything is about celebrities and them being influencers and whatever, and we've forgotten how to influence ourselves. We've forgotten how to influence each other. Like, we look to social media influencers and celebrities to tell us what to do, and to tell us who to vote for, and to tell us what to think. And like, if they're doing it, then it's like, gone are those days. Gone are those days. It's not sustainable. It doesn't work because people change. People's minds change. People's thoughts change. People's opinions change, you know? And so we really have to get focused on like the internal. And that's why I trust more vegans that say they went vegan because of their health. Personally, because that's why I went vegan. Because I went vegan realizing like, dang, I'm killing myself. And I'm seeing the ethical things that are not only happening to the animals, that's very sad and tragic, but also my black people.
Yeah.
You know? Things that's happening to them, and it's really sad. It's really unfortunate, and so I'm like, I don't want to contribute to that. If my money is going towards these slaughterhouses that are causing cancer and death and all types of disease for the animals, for, you know, people of color, specifically for people of color, it's like I can't do it. So I get the added benefit. I get to be healthy because I'm eating of the earth, right? What my body has been evolving for 3.4 billion years, right? 3.4 billion years. Life is an unbroken chain of 3.4 billion years. It's absolutely unbelievable. So my ancestors have developed to eat of the earth. I don't need to eat processed anything. I can eat directly of the earth. And so I get the health benefits of eating vegan. I get the ethical benefits of eating vegan, and I get the ecological benefits of eating vegan, right? So there's so many benefits, but it's more sustainable for me because I will never eat a piece of chicken because I don't want to get sick. I will never eat eggs because I don't want to get sick. I will never drink milk because I don't want to get sick. I don't like the way that I feel. I don't like high fructose corn syrup. I don't like the way I feel when I have a ton of sugar, right? Like, I eat for my health, right? I eat always thinking about my health. And it's been proven time and time again that meat and dairy are unhealthy. Meat, dairy, and sugar. And then we can even add wheat in there, right? But those things are not healthy for us. So by going vegan for my health, going vegan because it you know, I feel like it's more sustainable. It is more sustainable than me going vegan for the animals because, you know, society makes it so easy to put a blindfold over. Oh, don't worry about the animals. Oh, you can worry about dogs. You can worry about cats, but don't worry about the cows. They're not anything. Don't worry about the pigs. Don't worry about the chickens. Don't worry about any of those things. And don't look at the bird flu. Don't look at the swine flu. Don't look at the mad cow disease. Don't look at all these things that are happening beyond behind the scenes. Don't look at the pus in the milk. Don't look at any of these things. So society has made it very easy for us to just be desensitized to meat and animal suffering. So sometimes when I see people who are vegans that just go vegan because of the animal reason, I feel like it's not sustainable. That's just me personally. I think it's like it starts with you, you know, like we all here every time we get on a plane. Put your own oxygen mask on before you assist with others. You gotta get your life right. You got to get your health right before you can start going out into the world and telling everybody what they should and shouldn't be doing. You know, that's just my take.
And I definitely want to come back to that thought of, you know, eating healthier, especially for the Black community. But I want to ask this question as well. Following that question, what are some of your vegan qualms? So for me, I'll give you two of mine. Yeah. So there are people who say stuff like, hey, plants are living sentient beings with feelings too, like animals that must be treated with the same compassion as animals. And then the other is the hijacking of the term plant-based. Like, I feel like it doesn't mean what I thought it meant years ago, which is vegan and food sourced from plants. But now there's so much flexibility that plant-based now means mostly plant-based with vegan ingredients added. So what are your vegan qualms?
I would say, let's see. I mean, the myth of protein, that's like a huge one, that we somehow we need a ton of protein to survive and be healthy. And I challenge you to find some protein deficient vegans, people dying of protein deficiency, right? Because really what we need is aminos, right? The 9 essential amino acids, and those are found in a variety of plant-based foods. Several foods have all 9, but dang, my light just went out. Several foods have all 9, but so that's one thing. We eat way too much protein than we actually need. A lot of the most fit people that you'll see are like fruitarians, and they're, you know, eating sprouts and fruits and jacked like, you know, diesel, because it's not about the protein, it's about the aminos. But so that's a qualm of mine. And then let's see, that's a big one.
Yeah, it definitely is, because I could tell you the amount of times people are like, "You're vegan, so where do you get your protein from?" I feel like if I meet 10 people, 9 of them are going to ask me that question. Like that's the usual question.
Yeah.
Right. So just coming back to that thought, and we're coming down because, you know, we all have regular jobs, because I do have a client at 4. But I would, no, you're good. So I want to come back to what you were talking about in terms of eating healthier and being vegan, especially in the Black community, because I know recently on your show on the you had Aunt Lother on.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was wondering in the ways in which the meat and dairy industry traps people into meat eating lifestyles, right? That people are oblivious to. And I remember how Tupac, when he ended the Silent Changes, when he said, "Let's change the way we live, let's change the way we eat." And, you know, I don't think we'll ever know in total everything he was referring to. But even at his time, you know, he saw the need for our people to eat better. And the current numbers are that 65 to 80% of Black people are lactose intolerant. And as more Black people are going vegan to counter the impact of being lactose intolerant, what impact can it have on us as Black people if we become more aware of how we eat?
I mean, it makes all the difference. You got to watch this documentary by my boy John Lewis. It's called "They're Trying to Kill Us," and it's an incredible documentary. If you haven't heard about it or seen it, please go check it out. It's incredible. But it really details how all of these foods are designed to kill Black people, right? And people of color. But one thing about the more people are being found to be lactose intolerant, I'm gonna get something straight, man. We're all lactose intolerant. Every single person on this planet is lactose intolerant, right? That's why you don't feel all that great when you drink milk. Like, you know, it's not like people drink a big thing of milk and like, my life is good. Like, very rare are you gonna see people that's just like chugging down milk and feeling amazing, right? So we're all lactose intolerant. Milk is made for a baby calf. Dairy milk, the milk that we drink, is made for a baby to get as big and fat as a cow, right? A calf to go to a cow as fast as possible. That's what that milk is made for. And so we're drinking all this hormonal stuff, and it's killing us. It's killing us. What was the other question you asked about, like how going vegan can impact the Black community? Is that the question? Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely makes all the difference, because our food is our life. Like, the way we eat is, you know, the way we are. You are what you eat, right? And we are constantly eating highly sodium dense foods, right? We're eating high fructose corn syrup like nothing else, and we're eating all of these processed foods and we're eating all these processed chemicals and we're calling them food, right? But when you look at like where we come from, like our ancestry, right? People are fit, not because they didn't have enough to eat. They're not fit because they didn't have enough to eat. They got fruits and trees, and, you know, like, you living in the jungle, you got plenty of things to eat, right? Plenty of fresh greenery around, and you can make amazing foods out of that. We're fit because we're eating of the earth, right? We're not eating tons of saturated fats and all of these other unhealthy things, right? We're eating, like when you eat of the earth, you feel grounded, you feel connected, you feel in tune with the spirit, you feel in tune with source. And so it is so important for us to remember the simplicity of plant-based foods, the simplicity of whole foods. Everything that we like about food is the plants. The meat that you like, I guarantee that you really are, I guarantee that what you like about it is the seasoning that you're putting on it. Right? You don't like the meat, you like the taste of the plants that it's cooked with.
I made a video like that maybe 2 months ago, and it caused such a stir among like non-vegans. They got so upset. They were like, well, we never said we had an issue with vegans, or we never said we had an issue with eating vegetables. And so if you get a chance to, it's on my Mindcore Fitness channel, and people were like really upset about it. I'm like, look, man, I did make the video to create a little agitation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I wanted people to start having the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, just eating plant-based is so powerful. And like, if you can commit to it for 2 weeks, right, and watch your body change, but don't just cut out plant-based foods, also cut out the high fructose corn syrup, man. That's killing us. It's killing us. It's not meant to, that we are not meant to eat things that are that sweet. So cut out the sugars, the sodas, like that high fructose corn syrup. That is terrible for us. And watch how you feel in 2 weeks. If you cut out meat, dairy, and high fructose corn syrup, your life will transform in just 2 weeks.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, right? Because I find it really interesting how, as a community, we're so focused on, you know, how we're going to make things better for our families financially, how we're going to improve our living situation. And it's very rare where we start thinking about how we eat and what we eat, right, as a community, right? Because we just constantly want to eat the same things, eat the same foods. A lot of times we're judged by that. And so I'm thinking about how as a society we can create a plan or create some way of making everyone a little bit more aware of why it's so important for us. Yeah.
It all comes down to the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, right? Because they incentivize the doctors to learn about medicine. They're not learning about foods, right? And so when we get sick, when something's wrong with us and we go to the doctor prescribes us a drug. The doctor gives us a shot, right? They're not saying, hey, what are you eating? Let's change your diet. Very rare. It's becoming more popular for doctors to start including herbal remedies. But still, today, a lot of those things are seen as quack science. You know, the natural, oh, that's not science. Hey, you healed yourself with ginger and turmeric. Like, yes, absolutely I did. You know, like I healed myself with some vitamin D. So it all starts there because the pharmaceutical companies, the insurance companies incentivize the doctors. The doctors create they're the most knowledgeable, right? We all trust the doctors. So we go to the doctor and we're like, well, the doctor didn't say anything about my eating. So I go back home and I still eat the dairy and I still drink the milk and I still eat all these things. And then I'm wondering why my sodium levels are so high and why my blood pressure is this and why my this, that. And so I get high blood pressure medication and then that makes me depressed. So then I take an antidepressant and then that makes me have locked knees. So then I got to take an Advil and an ibuprofen and all these other things. Like, and then now I'm just like going to my drug dealer every time I feel bad. And I'm not even thinking about the foods that I'm eating. So that's kind of where it all comes from, right? That's how the change gets to happen. It gets to happen like one within the home, everyone educating each other, but we get to recognize the goalpost or the what do you call it? The benchmarks or whatever that's being made by these major corporations feeding us the lie that, you know, medicine is healthy, right? Medicine is a last resort. They say, let food be thy medicine or medicine will be thy food, right? And that's what society is looking like right now. Black people are dying from high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and it's all to do with that. It's all to do with the foods that we're eating. So check out the documentary. They're trying to kill us. Your life is going to be changed.
Yeah. And, you know, it's really, for me, it's been a little frustrated. Yes, I get frustrated, but then I also think, what am I doing to change things? Right? Because I can be upset and then not do anything. But I've constantly seen a society, and this is not just Black people, but this is people on the whole, where everything is a pill for a cure. Right? Let me just take this pill. Let me just do this particular thing, and I'm fine. And I'm like, you know, whatever happened to, you know, the same quote that you just quoted about let food be thy medicine. Like for me, a true Hippocratic oath, a true practice of Hippocrates' way of doing things would be looking at food as medicine and looking to see how we could treat ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I love that you mentioned Hippocrates, because there is actually a health institute in Florida. It's like 6 minutes from my house. Like, I'm so blessed. But it's been around for 70 years, called Hippocrates. And they are a health institute that actually practices the Hippocratic oath in the way that you're saying. They treat everybody. They have been responsible for healing so many people on raw fruits and veggies, sprouts. So much so it's inspired people to start whole communities built on what they've learned here. People that have cured their cancer after going to chemo for years, completely cured of cancer, of liver and colon cancer. People have cured their heart disease. People cured their diabetes by going to Hippocrates. So it's possible. Very rarely, I don't think you could find a health institute that's based on meat. I challenge you to find one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got tons of health institutes that's based off of plant-based medicines. But I guarantee you will not find a place that's like, let's throw some steak on this. Let's, eat some of the pus of the cow milk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going to find it.
And I think most people know the way that they're really supposed to eat. And I think there's just this stubbornnness they don't want to break free from what they've always known. Right. And so, like, I remember this was a long time ago, but I was dating this girl. She was Italian. And so every time I would go over to her house, man, she was always cooking steak. And that was just her thing, right? And so, and I was vegan, and so every time she wanted to, like, kiss or anything like that, I was like,
intimate, yeah.
Right? It was like, yeah. And so, it was just like, it was so inbred in her as an Italian woman, because I think she moved from Italy when she was 18, so she was Italian. And I was just like, I can't do this, man. It's not the reason the relationship broke off, but it was definitely one of those things where it was tough to, like,
the vibe off.
Yeah,
definitely, man. You don't want to go down on no girl that's been drinking milk. Nah, man. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Oh, man. So, man, Ace, I am really thankful for you, like, being here, and I'm really looking forward to what you have coming next. I just want to highlight too, because I know you were talking about a song you were working on. I think Timbaland was going to be working on it. I think it was Delish.
Yeah, man. I got this song, Delish. I'm in a competition right now. I'm in the last leg of the competitions. If you want to post my link, go vote for your boy. I think it's like 3 or 4 days left until this round ends, and I gotta be in first in order to get to the next level. So yeah, man, vote for your boy. It's like, I'm super hyped because this competition, I get to work with Timbaland. I got $30,000. I get a feature on his album, and I get to perform with him on stage. So definitely want to make sure that everybody supports, listen to the song. If you go on my profile, you'll find it. It's fire. You can go on all platforms. Look up Delish, Ace Anderson. Is one of the hottest songs out.
Yeah, I'll definitely share it on both of the channels, Mindcore Fitness and the I Choose Health podcast. So I haven't told everyone this. So I actually just started a whole new YouTube channel for the I Choose Health podcast. And so I learned that I was actually promoting my podcast in the wrong way. So I had all my fitness stuff, all my nutrition stuff on one page. So I thought, okay, why not? I'll just upload the podcast there. And then I was getting some feedback that like you should have the podcast be totally separate from that stuff. I'm like, oh, but I already got like this number of subscribers here, and I don't want to do that. But I had to do that. So I'm rebuilding, and I prefer just an authentic rebuild. Like I know that people who are following because they love the podcast. They want to see the podcast do great things. So I'll share it there, and then I'll follow you from there too. So you'll see those clips there. So yeah, we definitely want to push that, promote that. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. And besides that, what else do you have coming up next?
Man, so I'm working on a couple of different things. I have a project. I decided to do a improv comedy show that we are hosting. That's going to be August 9th. It's going to be a live improv comedy show, very much inspired by Key and Peele, Dave Chappelle, Saturday Night Live. We're going to be having live performances as well as pre-recorded skits and sketches, just like you'd see on Key and Peele. And those will be all streamed live as well. So we'll be selling tickets for anybody who across the country or overseas who wants to buy tickets and watch the live event. But we'll also be performing live in West Palm Beach, Florida. So you got to come check that out. I'm super excited about that. Stay tuned. Check me out on all platforms at AceShotThat. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, anywhere you get on social media, and we're going to get it on and pop.
That sounds dope, man. I'm looking forward to that. And one of my favorite Key and Peele sketches when they're both talking about, yeah, man. So, I told her, I don't know if you saw that. So I'm looking forward to, anything funny like that, man. Key and Peele, those guys, man, they're awesome. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Sounds good.
Yo, Ace, thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning back into the I Choose Health podcast. Just remember that when you're choosing health, you're choosing yourself, you're choosing power, possibility, and purpose. And I'm really looking forward to what you guys are able to accomplish just by choosing yourself, but by choosing to empower others as well, because this is what a lot of our stories are about really empowering others. And so Ace is one of those people who, through his content and through his life, has really empowered a lot of people. And he shared some gems today. I almost felt like I was at church today at some point. I was just like, man, right? So I'm just really thankful for Ace and for other people who have come on this podcast and have shared their experiences and their insight. So with that said, again, guys, have a great one. Peace. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. If this episode made you laugh, made you think, or made you hungry for something better, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop a video. Don't forget to support Ace's work, stream Delish, and vote so he can hit the stage with Timbaland. The links are below in the description. Remember, choosing health is choosing you.